Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for you guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. I'm not going to say young men, but I also want to compete against the young girls, the young women. So I say the young crowd. Now, this is, as you can see, 125. Oh. In the last video, we were talking about, what was it? It was some kind of report. I wish I remember what it was. I don't know. I was sick for a few days, and then on top of that, I didn't go nowhere because I really can't go nowhere because I'm kind of sick, like big time. I'm not talking about the flu. And but I did watch on TV the 4th of July DC stuff. Oh my God, that's the fireworks stuff. Oh man, it was beautiful. It was like a lot, but in the very end, I kept rewinding because I was watching also videos. I was rewinding a few times. That last part, it looked like I was looking at the sun. That's how heavy duty it was. Oh my God. But it was wonderful. I didn't do much. I was just home. That's it. My wife had to work. So, hey, I started thinking about this particular video because I wanted to, because I mentioned that I want to create several videos, especially with the transaction table stuff. Then, of course, I got some with just the find item table, which happens to be the inventory table. I just called it find item because when I started, I wanted just to find something, an item. Excuse me. And like I mentioned before, it all started because my daughter wanted to find some stuff in the kitchen. Couldn't find anything because things are all over the place, especially when you have a big kitchen like she has. So it was like, oh my God, I don't know. So I started to get into doing it, and I did a great job the first basic stuff. But then I started to build on it, and because I kept saying, because which I've been doing for a long time. I always say that I was a web developer, a PHP developer. I was a project manager. But basically, I was a systems engineer because I was building systems for the intranet of the companies because they use it internal. And I also help out with those things in the bank when you go and get money like right outside. I don't want to mention the bank. Anyway, so I decided to build these things, and now I do have several reports, and now this particular report, right? This specific report tells a story about a cash flow, like the shelf space and the labor efficiency. It answers like the critical questions, right? Are we moving stock efficiently, or is there our money tied up in a dust gathering inventory? You know how when you go and you got your own inventory but you haven't touched the stuff, right? That's why in supermarkets and stuff like that, after a certain amount of time, they move the stuff over to the front and they put the new stuff in the back, And then after a while, they give you that, you have to get rid of it by a certain. You really don't, but that's what it is. Anyway, so here is how I managed like each of the rows of this, like a smart decision, right? So when I was looking at how I read this stuff, let me go there because I know I'm talking, and I'll tell you what. Let me get a sip of my coffee for a second. If you guys got coffee, you go ahead and take that sip. If you got them, if you got them, smoke them if you want to. our drill sergeant used to say. Anyway, so I go here. He uses the system, right? So then I go here. You know, this is fake stuff, right? I don't, you know, this is nothing real. There's no, I'm gonna move this up a bit because I think, remember I told you that my computer, oh, guess what, guys? I just found out, I mean, secretly, of course, that I'm gonna be getting a new laptop, a big one, a really big one. I hope it's true. The M5 Mac Pro. Hey guys, if you think that's a really good one, let me know. Put it in the comments below. But man, with the 16-inch, it could be 15, but with the 16-inch screen, I think they said that the 16-inch has the M. I think it's the M4. I might be wrong. I don't know, but I was excited, man. So I'm gonna keep it quiet, of course. It'll be, you know, Christmas time. You're gonna have to deal with my crappy desktop, which is that whole thing on the sides. It's black, and the bottom pieces all like at an angle. I can't even see some of the things, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, let's get to it because now I'm like get going off there. All right, I'm gonna go here. Remember how we always. We don't use the other one because the other one it just has one. This one has like 10 or 11. So, you see this already. This is cool. See, these are the reports I was talking about. Remember how we check out these reports? We did the check that. We did the check items. This is the find item table. You know, like these. Unimpressive, but it's good to know, you know, and who you're dealing with. Look at this. Admin tells you right now. Since I don't have it over here, but you got it over here. But the one I'm talking about is this one. This is the one. Now, with this one, I decide to use the one. This is going to go to a page. All of them goes to their own page, right? They call out the tables and do that whole thing. So if I go here to get this one, let me go back for a second. Let me see if it's decent enough to. Yeah, okay. It's missing this part, but that's okay. What is it? Oh, let me see. Oh, that's there. I put it in. All right. So I got these two choices, right? I'm like, okay, because I didn't want to create another one. So I figured if I'm going to start building things, I'm going to start putting it over here, like certain. Maybe I might even change this. I don't know. Right now, we want to see. We want to do the received versus issue. You know, that analyzes the inventory movement, and you see it right there, identifying the peak operation, right? So, and of course you got this quick mode. Remember? That's the stuff that opens up like this. Let me show you. See, in this situation, it calls itself this particular file, this one right here, and then it opens up the mode, which is this, and then it'll have information. Right now it says no dead stock found matching criteria, so that's okay. So if I and then this one is the actual another one. This is instead of reading this again, I mean itself, it reads another file, and it'll do something like this. See, and these have the end dates and of course the start date, and of course that's just a filter, right? And this kind of tells you. I know it's kind of weird how this looks, because I was talking to someone and they was telling me, I'm not a store owner. That's one thing they say. Oh, you're gonna build something. You're gonna, you know, like when you go to a warehouse, they go, oh, I need you to build something like this. You scan it with the barcode, that whole thing. It's this whole thing that I've been showing you can use it. Of course, you have to change some few things. You got to go with what the guy wants, right? Or the company that was hiring you. But I wanted to. So, like for instance, this banana runner here. This banana. You know, the high velocity. You know, this is like the risk scenario. the banana roll. Let's say like we'll do this one right here, right? So what do the numbers show, right? It says that it received 55 basically, you know, the 50 and the 5. See? It received the 50 and it issues a 60. It doesn't show it here, but that's basically what happened. And then you have your net flow of 5. I mean, it does the 50 and it's the 55. I mean 50 and then it goes to 45. I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. And then I'm like, and of course the net flow is like the -5, and I'm like, well, how does that work? So, you know, so how management reads this, those people in the store, like this item is in a high demand and we are moving it fast. We're moving it fast. So, however, because the net flow is -5, we're burning through our safety stock. So that's where they don't they don't reorder. If they don't order sooner, right, they will face like a stockout, like empty shelves and lost sales. When I was doing this mathematics, where is this thing, by the way? Where is it? I think I have it here, but the actual. Oh, by the way, let's go back real quick. I'm so sorry. I'm not. When you go here, I have it over here. What is this one called? Total. Where was this? One must be this one. Okay, here's the total, right? See, what happens is it calls the find table, right? And then it maxes the, see the dates? Last received date, that's what that is. And this is the date that's different, that's like now. And with the max, you know, you do the calculation. So the days on the shelves, right? And then you say find item. And then you do, remember the joint stuff? You're joining two tables, right? You're joining the transaction table and the items of that find item table, and then it says that the quantity should, if it's bigger than 0, right? You want to group them by the ID. That's why. Well, this one is. We get this here. And this one is going to be for this guy. And right now we got nothing, because what I did was I had to go here and, oh, by the way, you know how this works, right? The prepare statement, the buying value, you know, usually I will put all that stuff in here, but if it starts getting bigger, it gets kind of sloppy. Even though swung lane will confuse people. So the buying value, we do this is, we got 1 and 2 basically, which is 1, this guy right here, and there's 2, the limits. So if you go up, where is this limit? Where are we? Right here. See the limit? This will give you the limits that we always do. So it'll be like 10, right? 10 meaning that you're going to get 10 stuff. Then you have your terms right here, look, 90. So the days sitting on the shelf to be considered deadlock is sitting there 90 days. So if I kind of took out, let's see if I made this like, I don't know, 0. Let's see if it'll work out for you. I'm going to have to refresh. And if I want like this, boom, see? This will tell you, hey, look, it's on the day shelves is 64 days with a banana, 21 days sitting on the shelf. The last receipt was on the 16th, June 16th. That's when you put it in there, right? And the current stock right now is 50. See? So if you kind of like go back and say, well, let's not do 90. Let's do, what can we do? Let's do 20 days. Refresh this thing. There you go. See? And then you got this. The bananas 50 still 21 days. That was 20. So this would keep giving you. This is just like the last, what is it? The aging of 20. It's only been like 20 days. So if I like to put it back at 90, that means if it hasn't hit 90 yet, so you're not gonna get nothing. That means you're okay. You're off. Let's refresh. That means you're okay. That's why you don't get the deadlock. That's which is perfect. In this situation, this one uses that 90. This is the one you change right here when you need that range. And of course, you built this stuff out, right? Then you have this is what we're seeing. And then if you go down the line, you saw all this. Just I showed you this HTML. I'm using the same thing. I'm using the same thing for all these guys. I'm using the same file. I just renamed them and then changed the actual SQL stuff, this stuff. And of course you change some few things inside it because you want to use it, but it basically it's the same way here. So you got this, you got that, and it points, and of course you got all this stuff over here that gives you that information you need it. Alright, so that's what that is. And then when you see, did I save that? Now for this one here, let's go back. This guy right here, open reports. It's gonna open the report. That's what this is, and I think this is called the. What the hell is it? This, man, I can't hardly. You know what? I mean, see the top part of it is also getting messed up. It's dark. I can't hardly see, but I think this is the one. I think this is the one. Let me see. Yes, this is the one. And in this situation, it's the same idea. This query groups by the item and calculates the total quantity received. That's what be the end. And then when you issue, it's like out. I received the selected date page, which reminds me. And I'm using the same type of thing. Look, I'm using the prepare statement, which is so safe that you need to do that. If it doesn't work, it's error loading data, and you'll get this error if there's something wrong there. And then of course you got your HTML, and that's I mean, you've seen this before. I'm pretty sure you have it. But this is the important thing right here. So if I can't, where is it? So this is how the manager looks at it, right? And then they go like with the 6 updates. Where are we? Right now it's just 2 updates, right? So logged action. That's in just like, let's say like in just over a month, right? This item requires like the frequent labor, and staff are constantly handling the accounting and moving things. I might add another. There's something else that he was talking to me, so I had to walk away. He gave me some of this information. This is what they do. This is what they do. I had to do the calculation myself, which is, where is it? This is the calculation right here. Let me see, where is it? Over here. Open that up. It gives you that, and then you're over here, right over here, and giving you the stuff is just it's just words. That's all it is. But you want to do that because you check. This is just a message. See if it's empty, you do this. If it's a message, you do that. And then you have it over here for each of this row. You do the calculations right here. If it's equal to 0, text success, and if it's not, they give you that blanks thing there. And then you have, let me see, okay, these are the 2 different. See, I know it's a little confusing, but something's going to be worked on because I have to. I am actually visiting the same person's kind of been helping me because he's not a programmer or anything. He just works. He's a manager of what is it? One of those grocery stores, those giant ones, and so he's been like he takes me, so shows me the stock, this and that, because he's always busy. I always have to cut the trip, but it's when I can come back and I just got some questions. So I thought if I get him on the line, but he somehow they knew who I was. So I'm gonna have to show up again, and he said, "Oh, listen, I just need to get this straight because I wanna, if there's something else that needs to be put here, like." And he said, "Oh, come by, and I'm gonna have to. I think I'm going there this Friday. Hopefully, I can get all the stuff, and I hope he has enough time." So the management action, right? So they increase like the reorder frequency, or they do like the bulk order sizes to prevent running out, and the optimized shelf placement so the staff don't waste constantly walking back and forth to restock, right? And then you have the tied up capitals. You know, Also the scenario that could happen was that the pineapple. Let's go to the pineapple. Isn't that right? Like the pineapple. I mean, you need these things because if you got a problem with high for like the risk scenario, a banana, like the banana or whatever you see, if it's look right now it's red, it's positive. So, or you can use it for like you could. This will help out with the tying up of the capital, so that the numbers that you see, like the plus, what is it, 30, and right issues 0 and the net flow 30. So our manager, when the manager reads this, right, so they this is like a red flag. They bought in like 30 units, right, and then not a single one was moved during the entire month. This is a deadlock, right? So it is taking up physical warehouse space, and that could be used for like faster moving items, and the cash spent by the like the spent to buy those 30 units is completely frozen. So management action is like to stop ordering this item immediately and considering like the markdown sale, a promotion, or what are we saying, the bonding it into a more popular item to liquidate the stock and clear out that space is what they're looking at, so they'll get rid of that stuff. And then you also look at it like the numbers, right? Like for instance, like the eggs, right? You're looking at the eggs. So we received the 3, we issue 0, and then the net flow is plus 3. We're only one logged action, which is what this I update means. That means when you um, enter information in the database, it goes to the transaction table. Remember, anything you do goes into the transaction table too. That's how I look at it. So the numbers so the manager will look uh, and will say, oh, wait a minute, this item has very low value, low labor cost, only touched once, while it hasn't issued out. While it hasn't issued out the, let me see, it is a much smaller batch, plus 3, so it doesn't block massive warehouse space or drain capital like the pineapples are. So he'll just look at it and says, "Oh, let's keep an eye out on it," but it's low priority, so it doesn't require immediate panic and strategy, or they could change the strategy of it if they need to. Uh, the Even to this day, as I was writing it, and I was like a few times, I'm like, well, there is still a little issue there because it's still kind of hard to understand. Let's see what this So he might come to me because I'm going to show this, and he's going to say, "Well, actually, what did I need? What I guess you misunderstood me. I don't know." He's going to probably say whatever it is that he's going to say. Then I will be able to change. This probably will change because the 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 takeaway of this whole report, right, is like by glancing at this matrix, right, the manager can immediately spot the extreme. So, so the high negative number, right, like the net flow, that will be high negative, right? So if it's logged, if the log's actions are high, then it is at risk. So we have to reorder immediately and then keep the stock level high. Positive, if you do like the highly positive, and if its log is low, like the deadlock, stop ordering, liquidate to free up cash. You know, I still other than that, still don't understand. But I'm writing it, I'm doing it, and he might not like this. He might say, "Well, you know, it's why can't we just do it and we'll change it?" Because he's the one that's giving me the ideas. And then of course you got your zero, you know, the near zero high value high, right? And he'll look at it like, oh well, you know, this is okay right here. We don't have no problem. The problem is with this bananas. You got a two updates. You got three updates and it's not moving. So over here you had the 50. It turned out to be 45, which took away the 5. That's okay. And this is how I look at it. So then over here, well, you had the 3, and then total issue 0. So the net flow is still 3, but it's not bad. It's just, you know, over here it's like 3, and then you got total issue is 0. And you're gonna look at that and you're gonna say, wait a minute, the net flow value is still +1. Somehow this thing is not moving. I understand. I mean, it's just me playing the part of pineapple. Could have been anything else, and you'll look at that and say, "Well, there's a problem there. I think maybe we should just not do anything with this or pray." I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they're gonna take this and put it and sell it for a lower price, which means that I will have to go. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Let's go back to this one, and I will have to go. Where's the bananas? Anybody see the bananas? The old bananas, right? Oh no, let's go find it. Bananas. Bananas. Then we're gonna say, okay, we got the bananas. You got the price at 20. We'll do go here, right? And then they can go ahead and change this to whatever the selling price is. And of course, you enter the database, and that's about it. I'm not gonna change anything because. So basically, that's what that is. You know what I mean? I also like to do one that says maybe we should have a separate one that would say, like, for instance, we do this one. Let me see some problems. See right here the problem. This one, yes, it was 5. 5 was sold, so now we only got 45. Then you have whatever the 3 was. 0 issue, nothing. And you still have 3, but it's still a little bit. What I wanted to do was have another report. Yeah, that's it. Have another report. I'm gonna talk to him anyway on Friday, but it will be like have another report that will at least tell you when they reduce, because they had to. Like we just talked about just now. I didn't change anything in the banana, but if you had to reduce it to let's say 15 or whatever the price that they're selling it to. I don't know, because I don't know what a big thing of banana is. I don't know if it's a small bush. I don't know if it's just a little grouping. I don't know. We're still playing around with that idea, but we have to find out for sure, you know. And because basically, when I'm creating these things, it's not just for groceries. I'm doing it for groceries, but I'm also doing it for condiments. I'm doing it for different things. It has to work. It has to work for everything, right? Same thing. Oh, look, I guess ketchup is a condiment. I don't know. It's not selling. I bought 10 and nobody's buying. I guess they don't like that. I don't know if it's because of the different type of ketchup and stuff like. I don't know. But this system is fantastic because it'll still let you know what the deal is. So ultimately, this report helps like management protect their profit margin by making sure that that they buy exactly what sells, right, and clear out what doesn't, and allocate labor when it's needed. That's another thing too, because another report to see who is on top of what. Like because I think when I went to look at them, I noticed that certain people were doing certain things, and I'm like wondering who is like if he's doing produce, then the guy John would be the one. And then if something happens, I want to know who that guy was. Who was the I don't know what they call them. What do you call those people? Stock boy, stocker, or, I don't know. And I want to know if it was him, right? Because that way I can feel maybe the problem is him. Maybe he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Maybe those things are not moving because of that. Maybe he's still keeping things because we still have to keep track of what's new and what's old. That's another thing. So I'm gonna have to look at all that stuff. But anyway, this is all I really wanted to show you, right? So if you go here, this one calls an outside one, this one calls an inside one, and that's it. Basically, that's it. Well, that's a little confusing, and it was confusing to me, and it still is because they drive me crazy. You know, sometimes you gotta go back and forth unless you like a guy who does it. So I would love to do that. I would love to have if he can just give me a job for like a month maybe, so I can see for sure how things work. Then this part of my stuff will work so much better. And it is it's working, it's doing what it's supposed to. But it's kind of vague right now, to tell the truth. I just need more. I just need more. Maybe we can add more. Maybe we can even add more. We'll put the 2 reports right in here. Maybe I shouldn't even call it this. I don't know. Maybe we should just. I mean, I called it this. I don't know. Hey, in the comments below, just let me know. What do you think? Because if you guys give me something that's good, I'm gonna go back and change it. Anyway, that's about it. That's all I got. Well, until next time, man. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And like I said, comment on give me something so that way we can fix this even better. And let me know, okay? In the end, I'll have all this ready. I want to get this ready so bad. Have it all ready so bad. I'm not done yet because I gotta deal with using the cell phone to barcodes. You know what I mean? You look at the product, you click on that thing, and it reads the barcode, and it puts it into the database. That's instead of you putting it in yourself. Like in other words, instead of you doing this, like right here, instead of you doing this, it'll do it automatically for you. Not automatically, but when you scan it, it'll do it for you. It would be good if I could scan and then see it pop up over here. And then say, oh yeah, you want that? Add it. Then you hit that and add it. Of course, don't forget this. and then that will be good. Or it should be that once I scan it, go straight to the video. Of course, it's gonna go through the security stuff because it'll be more like I'm doing this, and it's me doing it. So definitely, probably don't need to populate this right away. That'll be good. I don't know. I have to look at it and find out what they do. I don't know. I have to see. Anyway, thank you very much. Give me a thumbs up, buddy. Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe if you want me to keep going doing this. Because I got other things that I want to show you. Remember the WordPress stuff? I have to get that done. I have to show you how you make a theme. That's like the website thing, like what you see. Then the PHP will do that too. It'll show you how that's done. That's how you build the theme. And then maybe we'll do the plugin, like one plugin. I do have a plugin that needs to be, which I created, and would love for it to go to WordPress.org. I don't know to see how that works. But if it works, boom, I'll show you how that's done so that way you can do it. Remember this whole thing of learning PHP so that way you can go straight to the next level, next step, WordPress. That's going to get you going. Anyway, thank you very much. Until next time.